"I'm pregnant." The world tilted violently. Every morning at exactly 4:50 a.m., Michelle Johnson woke up before the alarm rang. It wasn't discipline that woke her. It was habit, shaped by years of worry and exhaustion. Her body had learned that sleep was a luxury, not a right. At 40 years old, Michelle felt older than most women her age, as if life had already taken everything gentle from her and left only responsibility behind. She sat up slowly, listening to the quiet apartment. The radiator hissed softly. Somewhere outside, a bus groaned awake. The city was beginning another day, and Michelle prepared to chase it. 5 years ago, her husband, David Johnson, had left. No dramatic argument, no final explanation. One evening, he said he needed space, and by morning, his clothes were gone. Phone calls turned into silence. Promises dissolved into nothing. Michelle never heard from him again. From that day forward, survival became her only plan. She worked at Harbor Street Cafe, a 24-hour place that smelled of burnt coffee and fatigue. She worked mornings, she worked nights. Sometimes she worked both. Tips were unpredictable, customers were careless, and managers rarely noticed her pain. But she endured for her children. Her son, Lucas, was 10 years old and still believed his mother could fix anything. Her daughter, Olivia, 17, stood at a dangerous crossroads, old enough to want freedom, young enough to be vulnerable. Michelle worried about Olivia constantly, though she rarely said it aloud. There was a distance growing between them, subtle but real. Olivia stayed in her room longer. She wore oversized sweaters, even in warm weather. She flinched when Michelle touched her shoulder unexpectedly. Michelle noticed, but tired mothers sometimes convince themselves that silence is normal. At the cafe, Michelle moved like a machine, efficient, quiet, invisible. She worked alongside familiar faces: Chris, who joked too much; Sarah, who complained endlessly; Tom, the manager who cared only about schedules and profits. And then there was Ethan Walker. Ethan was 24, white, calm, polite. He didn't cause trouble, he didn't flirt openly. He always said yes, ma'am to Michelle and held doors for customers. There was something else about him, something Michelle would only recognize later. Whenever Michelle was scheduled for late shifts, Ethan suddenly disappeared. Sick leave, family emergency, migraine, personal issue. At the time, Michelle barely noticed. Her mind was always somewhere else: rent, groceries, school fees, exhaustion. She didn't know she was being watched. The night everything changed, Michelle came home early. A customer had collapsed in the cafe, and the police shut the place down temporarily. Michelle was grateful for the rare break, though she worried about the lost hours. The apartment felt wrong when she unlocked the door. Too quiet, too heavy. Olivia, she called, no answer. She found her daughter sitting on the couch, hands clenched tightly together, eyes swollen and red. Olivia looked smaller than usual, as if fear had folded her inward. "Mom," Olivia whispered, her voice shaking. "Please, please don't get mad." Michelle's chest tightened. "I'm pregnant." The world tilted violently. Michelle's heart began pounding uncontrollably. Her breath shortened, sharp and painful. She grabbed the back of a chair to stay upright as dizziness washed over her. For a terrifying second, she thought she might lose consciousness or worse. 17, pregnant. How? Michelle demanded, tears flooding her eyes. "Who did this?" Olivia shook her head violently. "I can't tell you." That silence cut deeper than anger ever could. The days that followed blurred together. Doctor appointments, forms, questions that stabbed like knives. Is the father involved? Does he know? Is she safe at home? Michelle answered what she could, lied when she had to, cried when she was alone. Neighbors began to whisper, "It must be a boy from school. I've seen a mechanic talking to her. There's a delivery driver always nearby." Michelle watched everyone. She watched the mechanic, too old, always drunk. The delivery driver, married with kids. Schoolboys, Olivia denied them all, nothing fit. But Michelle noticed patterns. On days she worked late, Olivia seemed anxious. On mornings, Michelle stayed home. Olivia relaxed, and then Michelle noticed something else. Someone had been coming to the apartment during the day. A neighbor casually mentioned it. A young man, she said, white, tall, always leaves before evening. Michelle's stomach twisted. At the cafe, Michelle began watching her coworkers more closely. She noticed Ethan again. The way he avoided eye contact when Olivia once came to drop off lunch. The way his shifts never matched Michelle's late hours. The way he suddenly quit conversations whenever Michelle mentioned her kids. The pieces didn't fit neatly, but they pointed somewhere dark. One night, Michelle sat beside Olivia on the bed. "Baby," she said softly, tears filling her eyes, "I don't care about mistakes. I care about who hurt you." Olivia's walls finally crumbled. "It was someone you work with," she whispered. Michelle felt the floor disappear beneath her. "No," she said weakly, "that's not possible." Olivia sobbed harder. "He told me he loved me. He said age didn't matter. He said you'd understand one day. He came when you were working late. He promised we'd be a family." Michelle's hands shook violently. "His name," she whispered. Olivia hesitated, then spoke. "Ethan." The silence that followed was unbearable. That night, Michelle sat alone on the kitchen floor, clutching her chest, sobbing quietly so Lucas wouldn't hear. Betrayal burned hotter than anger. This man had watched her exhaustion, watched her sacrifice, and chose to exploit it. The next morning, Michelle went to the cafe. Ethan wasn't there. She asked Tom. "Oh, Ethan," he shrugged. "He quit yesterday, no notice. Said he was moving." Michelle felt numb. No apology, no justice, no accountability. Gone just like David. That evening, Michelle held Olivia close. "We'll survive this," she whispered. "He took advantage of us, but he didn't destroy us." The future was uncertain. Society would judge. Life would be harder than ever. But Michelle Johnson had already survived abandonment, poverty, and heartbreak, and she would survive this too. Because some women aren't protected, they protect themselves.